Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and I'm going to be talking about week 2 for our discussion posts for this week, what I've took from the readings itself. So a lot of it, especially from the textbook, I've written a lot of notes for about 5 pages worth, so lucky me. The first thing that popped out to me was library professionals must engage in critical self-reflection and then become involved in the process of getting to know their communities by conducting their own research and investigation and by building relationships with community members and talking to them. So that is a big thing because we have a large amount of people that are in this world. So it could be many different things. And I would give an example just on myself from the intersectionality perspective, which that is the idea of people possessing multiple identities to create them as a whole. So for me as a person, I am Mexican-Cuban descent. I am a graduate student. I guess, middle class. I'm not 100% sure in that range. I am able-bodied, but with some disabilities. I do suffer from dyslexia, as well as ADHD, and I do have, I am ambidextrous, so I am one of the 1% people that does have that ability. And I'm an American citizen. I'm in my early 30s. I will be identified as a millennial. I'm pansexual, so those qualities is what makes me as me. So, that is something that we have that will be able to identify us as people. So it's not just going to be, based on our color of the skin or our beliefs or age or class. It's just different things that pop up out of nowhere that help identify who we are as individuals. Now, when we talk about social privileges and social marginalization, there are disadvantages and there are privileges. Social marginalization for me, in my case, as an LGBT person, because I am pansexual, my disadvantage would be that I have to be cautious about showing affection to my significant other. So for this case, I want to say the social privilege would be that heterosexuals have no fear of having to show affection to their partner, whereas someone in my situation would have that slight fear, especially given of today's society with the issues that we are facing in LGBT communities, as well as in some religion. I want to say religious groups as well are also having those kind of issues, as where in you would be criticized for being a Christian right now, and you would be generalized as something that you would not be. So these kinds of things are something that is going on, and it is a reflection of what is happening in our society now, especially when you are trying to be a librarian. You want to be able to identify, but also be able to respect people, but also celebrating them. And the quote that got to me in that case is, "It is not the differences that divides us. It is the inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences." So us as librarians need to be able to have different types of materials for different people. We need to have that in our libraries. We can't have just one generalization of things in the library. It's not possible to be able to do that. Now, when we talk about that, there is a relation to the articles that were provided with the text. So in the cultural competence or cultural humility, we have a great example will be the LGBT community being identified in there. So in this case, we have individuals that are in a controversy. So right now, for example, it would say like my health professionals with 5 diverse racial, ethnic, or other groups, they try to put a culturally competent care for them. And for us, that is something that would be something that we would be wanting to have. I am kind of actually very upset about this whole thing where they are separating LGBT books completely away from just heterosexual novels, when they could just combine them, just have it in the same area. If it's got the same kind of genre, why take it away? So that is just my take, but I just see it like that. I'm not sure what the whole reason is for it right now, besides the fact that it's Pride Month, which happy Pride Month, by the way. But that is just my take on that, and that's just an example. Another thing to really notice is that we should not be able to judge people, especially as librarians. We shouldn't judge someone because they are homeless. We shouldn't judge someone because they are a person of color. We shouldn't judge someone because of anything, really, of their age or of their sexuality. We shouldn't be judging that, especially when we ourselves are supposed to be a diverse, welcoming group of individuals. So anybody can really come to the library and be able to use those resources. You never know what anyone is going through, and judging somebody based on what they look like or what they identify as, I don't see it as acceptable, and that to me is just really really not okay. Now, another thing that I've also wanted to talk about was that in the text for the holistic approach for inclusive librarianship, decentralizing whiteness in our profession, I did get the part where it says that a lot of librarians are often seen as, and it is true, a lot of people often see it as, a librarian being an older woman who is not a person of color, that's at the desk, and that's the librarian. No, the librarian should be a person of, regardless of their gender, regardless of their sexuality, regardless of their age, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of pretty much anything. In my case, I am, like I mentioned earlier, I am Mexican Cuban descent. I am technically first generation Cuban American, but second generation Mexican American. So in that situation, that would be a slight decentralizing. Sorry, my dyslexia is kicking in from that. But at the same time, yes, I am a female, but I am not a heterosexual. Yes, I am, I guess, white at that point, even though I am Latina descent. And yes, I wear glasses. So some people think that a librarian wears glasses, but really, when we read the article, we want to avoid microaggressions. We want to make sure that we are welcoming everybody into the community, from the community, to the library, and making sure that our Patreons are always welcome to come in. They shouldn't feel like they should not be coming into the library at all. It is a safe space. Should be a place that welcomes everyone, really, no matter who they are or what they are. So that was my take on this whole reading situation. But if I missed something, that's on me. But you guys, see you later.